Hi everybody. In the previous video, we created a user settings page with an account delete function. In today's video, we're back to the posts to add comments and replies. We will create their models and their creation tasks. For the comments, we will implement some sort functions and give them a like button with a Django and Ajax task. We already did the migrations in development, so we will show it in the VPS while also increasing its upload limit. The first model is for the comments. The name freely chosen. Like the author in the post model has a foreign key reference to the user, the comment has a foreign key to the post. It makes sense for us to name this foreign key field post. You can name it how you want. The related name of the foreign key is used for easy access to this model using the post model. We will see how it works during the video. And whenever the post is deleted, the cascading makes sure all comments are deleted too. Next, the field that will store the username of the commenter. Note, it's a character field, no direct connection to the user model. Next, a field for the message, an approved field with default true, in case we want to add the option for the poster to block comments, a creation date field, and lastly, a many-to-many field for liking the comment. Many-to-many. A comment can be liked by many users, and the users can like many comments in return. We can access the list of users that liked the comment with the field name and the comments that the user liked with the related name. Next is the reply model. It has a foreign key relation to the comment model, so it makes sense for us to name this field comment. It has a related name for easy access using the comment model. And whenever the comment is deleted, so will the replies by cascading. We have again a name field, a field for the message, an approved field, and a creation date field. Both our models have a self-definition that outputs the name field if not otherwise specified during inquiries. Note, the name field will store the username, so we don't add .username. This in contrast with the post model where the author is a foreign key to a user but not specifically their username. So there we had to add it. Running the migrations gave no issues whatsoever. On the detail page, the sort buttons are now hidden until an actual comment is submitted. And we added a message in case there are no comments yet. We'll see in a moment how that was done. Signed-in users will see the submit form as it is now. In the action tag, the name of the URL of the task and passing the slug of the post. It has a text area input field with a name to capture the input in our task. And a submit button. In case the user is not signed in, they don't get the button. The URL, unique characters between the domain name and passing of the slug, leads to a task and was given a name. For the tasks, we have to import the newly created models. Scrolling down to the tasks. The first one to comment. Wrapped in the login required function, the name freely chosen. Passing the slug with the request. We request the user and store it in a variable. We retrieve the post using the get function and the slug. We retrieve the input from the form and perform a link check on it. We're not testing this anymore. It works. As the name field in our comment model has no direct connection to the user and is only a character field, we have to obtain specifically the username of the user. Now we can create the comment with our variables. Note how we link the foreign key field post of the comment model to the actual post retrieved in this task. When done, we redirect with a message. Let's submit a comment. And our comment is posted and visible. We also see the comment count and the sort buttons. We'll see the code used in a moment, but first, let's have a look at how the comments are displayed. As we can access the comments through the post using the related name, nothing had to be added to our detail task. First, we check if there are comments by using the statement post.comments.all. Remember, comments is the related name of the foreign key field of the comment model. If true, we iterate over the comments list, using the same statement and store each result in a variable comment. We add the reversed Django tag to sort the comments on creation date, with the most recent one on top. We include another HTML page that will serve as snippet for each comment, showing its details and replies. There is no need for an include, we do this to keep things organized. Note that we don't have to specifically pass the comment, as the earlier passing of the post seems to cover all further passes. In case there are no comments, we show the message we saw before submitting the first comment. Let's have a look at the comment snippet. On top, loading the static and humanized tags and some CSS colors for a JavaScript. We insert the body of the comment, the name of the commenter and creation date. For signed-in users that are not the author of the comment, we will provide a comment-like button, both Django and Ajax. We will see this in a moment. The others will see a like count and colored icon if any. Next is the button to open the reply section of the comment. As the JavaScript doesn't know how many buttons there are, and which section to open, we are adding a for loop counter. We'll explain in a moment. See again how we use the related name of the foreign key field of the reply model through the comment. With a count we can display the number of replies. And here in the reply section, we can access the replies with the .all. Nothing had to be added to the detail task. First, we check if there are replies. If true, we iterate over the list using the same statement and store each result in a variable reply. We again added the reversed Django tag to sort the replies by creation date. We are not including a separate page as there is no further functionality added on the replies. We just insert the body of the reply, the author and creation date. For the replies, we didn't include an else statement to display a message in case there are none. Lastly, for all signed-in users, we display a reply post form. In the action tag the name of the URL of the task and passing the slug of the post. As the task now also needs to know which comment the user is replying on, we pass the comment's ID as value through a hidden input field, with a name, and a text area field for the reply, with a maximum length and a name. And the submit button. Non-signed-in users get a dummy button. The URL, with unique characters between the domain and the passing of the slug, leads to its own task and was given a name. The task, wrapped in the login required function. The name freely chosen. Passing the slug with the request. We request and store the user. Next, we retrieve the comment's ID through the hidden input field. And with the get function, using the model and ID, we retrieve the comment. Next, we retrieve the body of the reply and perform a length check on it. If passed the checks, the task continues. Also in the reply model, the name field has no direct connection to the user and is only a character field. We have to again specifically obtain the user's username. We can now create the reply. Note how we link the foreign key field comment of the reply model to the actual comment retrieved in this task. When done, we redirect with a message. By the way, the redirects are the reason we needed to pass the slug to this task. In the meantime, we switched to the test user's account, where we see the comment after a refresh. We will reply on it. Reply posted. And we see the replies count. Let's push the button to open the section. As expected, we see the reply, author, and creation date. And the submit form. See here again how we iterate over the comments replies list. And output the desired fields. Let's have a quick look to the script to open the reply button. We assigned a keyword, reply open, to the class of the button. And we gave it a data ID tag with a for loop counter. We are currently in loop 1 as we only have one comment. In the section we target to open, we added a class to the diff, and assigned it a name while adding also the for loop counter. The script is a small one and uses jQuery. It searches within the body of the page for a click on the element with the class reply open. With the jQuery selector $, we search within this element for the data ID and store the value in a variable count. Then we tell it to look for the section with the assigned class name and matching count and we open it. If you don't work with the for loop counter, the first button will open the reply section of all comments. We will move this script to the detail page as it works top down. We put it here for the ease of illustration. Now we're going to submit a second comment and check the sort functions. As expected, we have the last comment on top due to the Django reverse tag. And we see an updated comment count. For the sort functionality we need to import Q and the count function. In our detail task, we added the following code. On top, we have a variable, which we gave the value sort original. This will be our default sort, which is on creation date, every time a user visits or refreshes the page. Let's see how this works and take it from there. We pass this variable in a context box, both in the public and private page. We can change this value by submitting forms with the sort buttons. First, we check if the post has comments. If true, we show the buttons with the submit forms. We are using the get method instead of the post method. The main difference is that the get method is less secure, but as we're not transferring sensitive data, that's okay. All sort forms will lead to the detail task while always passing the slug of the post. Now we are checking the value of the sort variable. If it is the original value, we show a clock button that will reverse the creation date and show oldest comments on top. See how we gave the button a name and value. If the variable does not equal original, we know the user has requested a sort. So we will show a button with the same name but with the value original, which will reset the variable in the task. Let's go back to the task and see how it's done. First, we check if there was a getRequest method. We do this check to avoid the next code being executed each time a user just visits the detail page without requesting a sort. If the user did request a sort, we retrieve the value of the button. See how it's different than retrieving input from a post method. We store the result in a variable and start performing checks. If the user pushed the button with value original, we reset the sort variable to original. If the user pushed the button with value clock, we set the sort variable to clock. In both scenarios, the sort variable will be passed in the context box back to the detail page. So let's go back to the detail page to see how we use it to display the comments. We already saw this statement. But we now added a check on the sort variable. If original, nothing changes. We iterate over the list with the Django reverse tag and include the comment page. If the sort variable is clock, we again iterate over the list, but this time exclude the Django reverse tag. This should show the oldest comment on top. Let's try. It works. The oldest comment is now on top. The sort button also changed. This one should restore the sort to original. Let's try. Also works. Now let's see the other sort functions. Here the get form to sort on comment replies. Although we again do a check on the sort variable, we only do it to give the button another color when the user requested this sort. As you can see, both buttons have the same value. We do the same with the get form to sort on likes. We check the sort variable to change the color of the button when this sort is requested. But both buttons have the same value. Back to our task to see how we handle these sorts. First, we add 3 empty lists as variable. 1 to store the comments sorted on likes count. 1 to store the comments sorted on replies count and 1 to store the comment with the last reply, which is interesting as it requires a backwards approach in the models. We check if the user pushed the button to sort on replies. If true, we set the sort variable to replies, but in this case, we will also populate our lists. First, to sort the comments on replies count, we call the post and all its comments by using the related name of the comment model's foreign key. Then we make an annotation that stores the replies count in a variable count using the imported count tool. Note how we use the related name of the reply model's foreign key. Cascading down from the post to its comments to the replies. Then we filter the comments using the annotation variable, representing the replies count, with a value greater to equal than 1. Lastly, we order the list first on count, and next on creation date if the count is equal. Now we will retrieve the last reply of the post. We call all objects of the reply model, and by using its foreign key field comment and a double underscore, we can jump up to the foreign key field of the comment model, which is post. As this field is directly linked to the post model, we can put our actual post as filter. Ordering the results on creation date and limiting the output to 1 should result in the last reply. Important note: as we are not starting the search from the specific post, but rather from all replies in the database, it is unsustainable for scaling. We'll check for another solution and come back on this. While we have now the last reply of the post, we want to retrieve the comment it belongs to. We do this by calling the post and all its comments, and with the filter and queue tool, we can check their replies using the related name of the reply model's foreign field and see which one contains the last reply. Now we check if the user pushed the button to sort on likes. If true, we set the sort variable to likes, but here we also populate the list for the comments sorted on likes count. We again call the post and all its comments. Then we make an annotation that stores the likes count in a variable count using the count function and the many-to-many likes field of the comment. Next, we filter out the comments using the annotation variable, with a value greater to equal than 1. And we order them, first on count, then on creation date if the count is equal. Lastly, we store the lists in a context box and pass them to both the public and private page. Let's go back to the detail page to see how we use the lists to show the comments. We check if the sort variable is set to replies. If true, we check if the list contains records. If not, we show a message. If true, we first iterate over the list containing the comment with the last reply as we want it on top of the list. We store the result in the variable and include a separate page. It's almost identical, but with a few changes. We'll see in a moment. Under this comment will be the list with comments sorted on reply count. We iterate over the list and store each result in a variable and include the familiar comment page. Lastly, we check if the sort variable is set to likes. If true, we first check if the list contains records. If not, we show a message. If true, we iterate over the list, store each result in a variable and include the comment page. Although we still need to see the code to like the comments, we will already see it in action to show the sort. If we push the button to sort on likes, the button changed color and we see a message as there are no liked comments yet. We also see the refresh button again. When we refresh, like the comment we are allowed to like and sort again, we see the liked comment. If you noticed, no page refresh happened when liking the comment. Let's switch account, like the post and the comment we are allowed to like, both without page refresh and sort. And we now see both the liked comments ordered on creation date as they have the same like count. Just like with the post, the like task for the comments also increases the likes received of the author. With this account, we received a like on our comment, so let's see if it was added. And it is. As with this account, we liked both the post and comment of the other user, we should see 2 likes in the account. Let's check. And we do. We also see the comment count on the post snippet. Let's unlike the comments and post in both accounts and see if all works. We should see a message when sorting. And we do. Both users should see no likes received anymore in their account. And they don't. The post like count is now hidden on the post snippet. Now we'll have a look at the reply sort. As expected, we see the comment on top with the last reply. And below that, the same reply as it is the only one with a reply count. The sort button changed color and we see our refresh button. Let's reply on the second comment. We see the reply count. And when we sort, as expected, we see the comment on top, but also on top of the first comment as it is sorted on creation date, because of an equal count. We are going to reply once more on both comments, starting with a reply on the most recent first. When sorting, as expected, it's on top, and on top of the list. And now replying on the oldest comment. When sorting, as expected, we see the oldest comment on top as it has the most recent reply, while it's at the bottom of the list, sorted on creation date because of an equal count. A quick look to the separate page to display the last replied comment. It's an exact copy with the exception of the icon in the Open Reply button and the JavaScript. As we target only one specific comment, we can work with IDs, both in the button and in the reply section. The JavaScript is a small one. When the sort page is displayed and the button with the matching ID is clicked, the section with the matching ID is opened. Moving on to the form and tasks to like the comment. Only signed-in users that are not the author of the comment can like it. See how we specifically need to check the user's username. If true, we insert the post form. As we were working on the Ajax task off screen, we overlooked to put the correct action tag. This form leads to the Comment Likes Django task, not the detail task as you see now. We will correct it. Apologies. We do have to pass the slug. For the Ajax task, we have to give the form a class name, freely chosen, and an ID with the value of the comment's ID. In contrast with the post, where we check in the detail task if the user already liked it or not, with the comment we are checking it here with this statement. This is only to change the color of the button. If true, we show a red button. For the Django task, we give the button a name and value, the comment's ID. With the count function we check if the comment has likes, if true we insert the number. A check that is not needed as here we know it's true. If the user didn't like the comment yet, we insert the same code with the only difference the color of the button, a gray one. Let's see the URL. Unique characters between the domain and passing of the slug. And see the correct URL name that we will put in the form. And on to the task. No extra tools imported. The Django task wrapped in the login required function. The name freely chosen, passing the slug with the request. We request and store the user. For this like function, we're checking if the request method is a post. If not, and it's only a visit of the URL, we redirect. If true, we retrieve the comment's ID from the Forms button. And with the get function we retrieve the comment using the model and the ID. And again with the get function we retrieve the username of the author of the comment. Next, we check if the user is in the list of users that liked the comment. If true, we remove the user. We deduct a likes received from the author's account and save. If not true, we add the user to the list, add a likes received to the author's account and save. And then we redirect. For the redirects, we needed to pass the slug. We tested this Django task off screen, it works. Let's see what we did with the Ajax task. Ajax doesn't know in which comment you are, could be the first or the last in a long list. So if you work with specific IDs, you'll see one button changing all comments, just like with the Open Reply button. But if we understood it correctly, Ajax does know in which section of a page the user is at with the cursor, and it can find a class in that section. So we tell it to look for the forms class. We prevent the default action of the form, which is posting and therefore refreshing the page. With a this selector, we can search in the form for other elements. We retrieve the comments ID, the total likes class, and the button's icon color class. See again on the form. The comments ID, the class which we'll use to change the color of the button's icon, and the class which we'll use to change the number of total likes. Back to the script. The following part is almost equal to the Ajax function used to like the post. Defining the type, post. The URL leads to the Ajax task while passing the slug. For the data package, we do things a bit different. Serializing the form didn't work, but the following does. We pass the comments ID and the CSRF token. The data type we use to communicate is JSON. Ajax pushes this data package to the backend task, so let's have a look. First, the URL. Unique characters between domain and passing of the slug. Onto the task. Wrapped in the login required function, the name freely chosen, passing the request and slug and requesting and storing the user. Checking if the request method is a post. If not, we redirect. If true, we retrieve the comments ID from the data package with a request post get. And in the same way as in the Django task, we retrieve the comment and the username of the author of the comment. Next, we define a variable comment liked Ajax, with default set to Boolean false as in the user didn't like the comment yet. We check if the user is in the list of users that liked the comment. If true, we remove the user, deduct a likes received from the author's account and save. In this case, the Boolean remains false. If not true, we add the user, add a likes received to the author's account and save. In this case, we change the Boolean to true. Then, the task continues. Retrieving and storing the total likes of the comment with the count function. We don't want the script inserting a 0 value, so in case the total is 0, we make it a blank space. The task is done. We can now send a JSON response back to the Ajax function while passing the variables as data. Back to the script where the data is received. If successfully received, we insert the total likes from the data as text into the corresponding element. Then we check the comment liked Ajax Boolean. If the first response is true, we know the user didn't like the comment yet when entering the page, and was therefore in the else statement in the form seeing the gray button. So we remove the gray and add the red. From there on the script can do the thinking on itself, adding and removing colors depending on the following responses while the user remains in the else statement until the page is refreshed. In contrast, if the first response is false, we know the user already liked the comment when entering the page, and was therefore in the if statement in the form seeing the red button. So we remove the red and add the gray. From there on the script can do the thinking on itself again, while the user remains in the if statement until the page is refreshed. See the like comment in action one more time. Button works. Color and count changed, no page refresh. Unliking works. Liking again to see the sort. Works. We see the comment. And in the author's account a likes received. Unliking. And the likes received is gone. We didn't show, but the like button also works when sorting. Final note. Off screen, we did some testing with a third user commenting and replying. All is working. Let's quickly update the VPS. Navigate to the project's directory. And cd into it in the terminal. Activate the virtual environment. And drag and drop your files and folders from your machine into the correct folders in the project directory. We already done all of this off screen, but we still need to migrate. So let's do that. First, making the migrations. Then migrate. Looks okay. We can deactivate the virtual environment. Lastly, we will increase the server's upload limit, which is standard set to 1 MB. We navigated to the Nginx folder and open the configuration file with the editor. Now we add this line of code between the accolades of the HTTP tag, which should increase the limit to 15 MB. Saving the file. For the change made in Nginx, we need to restart Nginx. And for the changes made in our Django project, we need to restart G-Unicorn. Done. Let's refresh the homepage in the browser. And we are still online. We'll do testing off screen. If any issues pop up, we will come back to it. Thanks for tuning in. And we hope to see you in the next video.